For years, I had been tormented by relentless joint pain, a cruel companion that showed no mercy. It seemed that every treatment I tried was futile, leaving me trapped in a never-ending cycle of agony. But then, like a faint whisper of hope, a rumor reached my ears. It spoke of a remote island, far beyond the reach of civilization, where a tribe lived under the rule of a legendary king known for his miraculous joint pain medication. The mere idea of relief became an obsession, and I was determined to reach this island where my salvation might lie. The cruel irony was that I could barely walk anymore. My joints were grotesquely swollen, and every step was an ordeal of excruciating pain. Desperation, however, fueled my determination. I fashioned a rudimentary cart from old wooden planks and whatever discarded materials I could find. It was a painful and torturous journey, each inch gained feeling like a monumental achievement. The cart's wheels screeched against the uneven terrain, and the relentless sun added to my suffering. But I pressed on, driven by the flicker of hope that this island offered. After weeks of enduring the excruciating journey, my makeshift cart finally brought me to the long-awaited shore. The relentless pain in my joints had become a constant, torturous companion throughout the arduous trip. I felt like a battered and weary traveler who had stumbled upon an oasis in the desert, unsure if it was real or merely a mirage. As I reached the coast, I gazed out at the vast expanse of the open sea, its deep blue waves stretching to the horizon. The sun hung low in the sky, casting a warm golden hue over the tranquil waters. For the first time in what felt like an eternity, I was free from the incessant jolts and bumps of my improvised cart. But relief was a fleeting notion, overshadowed by the uncertainty of what lay ahead. The island, shrouded in mystery and whispers, beckoned to me like an enigmatic siren. It was said to be a place untouched by modernity, inhabited by a tribe that revered their king as a healer of legendary prowess. As the boat that had miraculously appeared on the horizon drew closer, I could make out the rugged outlines of the island. It was a place of untamed beauty, a dense jungle teeming with life, and primitive huts made from woven palm fronds dotted the landscape. Smoke from cooking fires wafted into the air, and the distant sounds of drums and chants added to the mystique of the place. The fishermen who had kindly offered me passage to this remote enclave were a stoic bunch, their faces weathered by years at sea. They listened intently as I recounted my tale of suffering and desperation. Compassion filled their eyes, and it was clear they understood the gravity of my plight. With a sense of kinship, they assured me they would take me to the island. Gratitude swelled within me as I stepped onto the rickety wooden boat. The vessel bobbed gently on the calm waters, and the fishermen expertly navigated the sea's capricious currents, guiding us towards the mysterious island that held the promise of salvation. As we approached the shore, the tribal village gradually came into view. The huts, intricately woven from palm leaves and perched amid the towering trees, seemed like something out of a forgotten time. The villagers, their faces adorned with vivid paints and intricate markings, emerged from the lush greenery to greet us. Their reception was a mix of awe and respect, guided by the stories of their king's legendary abilities. They saw in me a desperate soul, a traveler who had journeyed from afar in search of solace. It was an enchanting yet eerie welcome, with a palpable sense of reverence for the king and his rumored healing powers. The tribal king himself was a commanding presence, his tall frame draped in ceremonial attire, adorned with feathers and bones. His gaze bore the weight of countless years of leadership and mysticism, and his eyes seemed to hold secrets known only to him. I was ushered into the presence of this enigmatic ruler, and as I explained my condition, he listened attentively. The atmosphere was charged with anticipation, and I couldn't help but wonder if this king held the key to my liberation from the torment that had haunted me for so long. With a voice that carried an air of authority and a touch of the supernatural, the king assured me that a week of his special treatment would make me pain-free and agile once more. He even extended an invitation to a grand dinner that would be held in my honor at the end of the week, a gesture that filled me with both gratitude and unease. As I settled into life within the tribe, the days passed, each one bring a glimmer of hope that my suffering might finally come to an end. Little did I know that the true horrors of the island were yet to be revealed, hidden behind the veil of tribal mysticism and a king's sinister secrets. The days on the island passed with a strange mix of hope and uncertainty. I followed the king's regimen with unwavering diligence, fueled by the glimmer of relief that had started to course through my veins. Miraculously, my joints began to respond to the treatment. The pain gradually receded, like a dissipating storm, and I could feel the strength returning to my limbs. It was as if I had been granted a reprieve from the torment that had plagued me for so long. Each morning, I would awaken with a sense of wonder, testing my newfound abilities. I could bend my knees without the crippling pain that had once been my constant companion. I could flex my fingers without wincing. It was a transformation that defied belief, and I dared to hope that the king's promise of a pain-free life was not a cruel illusion. However, on the 8th day, my hope gave way to a sickening realization. As I awoke and attempted to stretch my limbs, a wave of horror washed over me. My joints had not only healed, they had grotesquely overgrown. Meat bulged around my bones, distorting my once frail frame. It was a nightmarish sight, and I felt a rising panic that clawed at my throat. I knew I had to confront the king, the only one who could explain this horrifying transformation. With trepidation, I made my way to the tribal castle, a looming structure that seemed to pulse with an unsettling aura. Peering through a cracked window, I overheard the king's voice, filled with sinister excitement, discussing the upcoming grand dinner. My heart pounded as I strained to hear more, and each word I caught sent a chilling shiver down my spine. The king spoke of me as the centerpiece of the feast, boasting about the tenderness and flavor my meat would provide. It was then that the horrifying truth struck me like a bolt of lightning. This tribe was cannibalistic, and I, the unwitting guest, was destined to become their main course. Terror gripped me, and my mind raced. I knew that I had to escape this living nightmare, but the castle was teeming with guards loyal to the cannibal king. It seemed impossible, but I had to try. I crept away from the window and slipped out of the castle, my heart pounding like a drum. The jungle surrounding the village seemed even more menacing now, each shadow concealing an unknown danger. As I ventured deeper into the wilderness, I could hear the distant sounds of drums and chants, signaling that the tribe was aware of my escape. The pursuit began, and the tribe's relentless pursuit was relentless. I had to fend off cannibal warriors who appeared from the dense undergrowth, their eyes filled with hunger and malevolence. It was a gruesome battle for survival, and with each confrontation, my dread deepened. But my determination to escape was unwavering. The jungle was an impenetrable labyrinth, and the cannibals hunted me relentlessly. I evaded traps, fought off attackers, and navigated treacherous terrain. The days blurred into nights, and exhaustion gnawed at me. But I couldn't stop. As dawn broke on the final day of my ordeal, I reached the coast. My strength was waning, but I couldn't give up. The fishermen I had met earlier were my only hope, and I plunged into the sea, swimming frantically toward their anchored boat. With my last ounce of energy, I reached the boat, gasping for breath. The fishermen hauled me aboard, their faces a mix of astonishment and concern. I had narrowly escaped the clutches of the cannibal tribe, saved from becoming their gruesome feast. Now, as I recount this horrifying tale, I shudder to think of the island and the tribe that nearly consumed me. The nightmare of that cannibalistic tribe is forever etched in my memory, a chilling reminder of the depths of human depravity that lurk in the shadows of this world.